So it's Friday afternoon. I have come home from work early today. Normally I work all day on a Friday, but we had an annual volunteers meeting this afternoon done via Zoom, so I am home early, which is very nice on a Friday. And I thought that this weekend I would film a reading vlog. I know that reading vlogs are content that you all love. I love to film them, so I thought that I would film one. Seeing as I'm home early, why not start now? So I am so very close to finishing my current read, which is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. Loving this. Honestly, I think I've said this time and time again, so I apologise for sounding like a broken record, but there is something about Leigh Bardugo's writing that just clicks so perfectly with me. She can do absolutely no wrong. Doesn't matter what she's writing about, I'm going to want to read it, and this is fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. It was just what I needed to read after my last read, the very emotional roller coaster that was Beartown by Frederick Backman. So yes, I am very close to finishing this, and then I'm kind of torn. I'm just reaching for the books. I'm kind of torn between what I want to pick up next. I did promise James that I would read Malice by John Gwynne, which is a series that he has listened to and recommended to me time and time again. This is book one. It's a fantasy, but it is over 600 pages, I think. Yeah, 620 something pages. Or I have The Beekeeper of Aleppo by Christy Lefteri, which is a very popular and much beloved book in the book community. So these are kind of my two options. I'm going to ask on Instagram and see which one people would prefer to watch a reading vlog about. Obviously there is no hope, even if I spent all tomorrow and Sunday reading, that I would get this finished. I just don't have the time to do it, but I could make some headway in that. But I could potentially manage to read and finish all of this and record my thoughts as I go. So I'll pop a post up on Instagram. Obviously this will go up after the fact, yeah, and see what people vote for, and then that is what I will pick next. So gonna do that now. Got maybe an hour before I have to go and get the kids, so probably gonna try and sneak some reading in. Check in with you all later. Okay, here we go. Which book should I read next? Got my picture, got Malice, and we'll post it. There we go. Done. Just because sleepy dogs are cute. What's that on the sofa? Hello, puppy. Hello. What are you doing? You're gonna fall off. Okay, so finished Wonder Woman a couple of hours ago. Oh, like a baby eel. Let's see what. Oh gosh, okay. Beekeeper of Aleppo has won. Hands down there. I know I didn't give you very long to make the decision, but I need something to read. So with 36% for Malice and 64% for The Beekeeper of Aleppo, I guess the decision is made. Here we go. Also, yes, I am in bed at 9:20 because it's been a long old week and I don't feel great. I feel very wheezy again. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I got what we think was COVID in March, and I've kind of been struggling since then, but I've had maybe a month and a half when I've been okay, but I feel really wheezy and that's making me quite anxious, so I've retreated to bed. So this is what I'm going to start. I will probably catch up with you all in the morning. Good morning. So as promised, it's Saturday morning, up bright and early, and I'm going to check in with you over my reading. So I finished, as I expected, Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I gave this 5 stars, I think. Yeah, 5 stars. It's just a lot of fun. I don't know how historically accurate it is. There is a little bit of a pointless romance, and I suppose some of it did tend to drag a little bit, but just as a fun YA interesting read about a kick-ass Amazonian woman, I thought that it was fantastic. And as I have said countless times, I just love Leigh Bardugo's writing. She is my queen. It doesn't matter what she's writing about. She could be annihilating my favourite characters and I would still lap it up. I just connect so much with her writing and I just fly through it. So 5 stars, loved it. And it also prompted me to pre-order the paperback of Ninth House, which I've kind of been umming and ahhing over because I thought, will I like her writing? Is it that I like the Grisha world that she's created and the Six of Crows duology in particular? Is it that I like that? Or is it her writing? And reading Wonder Woman has convinced me that it's her writing. So the paperback of Ninth House comes out in October and I pre-ordered it yesterday and I'm very excited about it now. But on to what I'm currently reading. So The Beekeeper of Aleppo, as you will have seen, won out hands down, so I decided to pick this up. And I'm just past at page 75. If you don't know what this is about, we are following a couple called Nuri and Afra who are fleeing from their war-torn home of Aleppo and they are making their way to a new life in the UK. And we have 2 alternating timelines. So we have their time in Aleppo and their journey fleeing, and then we have their time in the UK when they are, at the moment where I'm at, they're in a B&B and they're about to apply for refugee status. And actually I think on reflection this is a very timely read because of everything that's going on with people trying to cross the channel in boats, so illegally entering the UK but still wanting refugee or asylum seeker status, and the way that the media, some of the media are representing them, the way that these people are being spoken about as though they are less than human, as though they are not fleeing a war-torn environment and just trying to seek safety and a better life for themselves, because why else would you put yourself at risk and travel in an unsafe vessel across unsafe waters? I just, yeah, so I think this is a very, very timely read with all of that that's going on. Obviously it's not a very heartwarming read. It's a little bit heartbreaking. Even already Afra has lost her sight because we discovered right at the beginning that Nuri and Afra lose their child, and the trauma of that I think is what has caused Afra to lose her sight. And yeah, it's just very, very sad. And Nuri's just trying to keep it together. He wants his wife back, he obviously wants his son back, he wants his life back, and Afra's just kind of caught in this grief and trauma. And it's not a nice read, but it's very beautifully written, and I am enjoying it, appreciating it so far. Got to do a little bit of house planning stuff now with James, which is partly why I'm up so early, but then I'm going to do some more reading, so I'll check in with you all in a little while. If I look a bit bedraggled, I've actually just had a nap. It is about, let me tell you exactly what it is, it's 3:10. I am almost 200 pages into this, so I've not got that much left to read before I finished it, which if I finished it today that would be incredible, and I would even be able to start Malice, I think. So as I've explained countless times, this is not an easy book to read. It's incredibly heartbreaking. Just even the thought that Nuri and Afra's story is not unique, that there are so many displaced people who had jobs and lives and homes and children and families, and because of war, because of political unrest and all kinds of reasons, they have become displaced and they are just trying to find a home. Yeah, it's just incredibly heartbreaking, and even just the thought of the loss of a child on its own, but then you add on trauma after trauma, and it's just almost unbearable. But it is so well written, and I just have, although I feel a little bit detached from Nuri and Afra because of the way the story is written, I can obviously appreciate that. It's a very hard situation that they're in, and my heart just breaks for them, and I just think how awful, like what an awful situation to even be in the first place. And just some of the ways that they're treated, like, you know, they've got to be fingerprinted and then go on a ledger, and it just, you know, be squashed into a boat with all these other asylum seekers and refugees, and when they get to Greece they just go in this tiny container which is sectioned off, and there are 2 families in there. It's just, the whole thing is just very inhumane, and just very difficult to read about. But I'm probably going to make another cup of tea because I don't think I should be having a nap in the middle of the afternoon. So I'm going to make a cup of tea. Then I am probably going to waste some time looking at caravans because that has become my new obsession. I watched, I mentioned this on Instagram, if you watch me on Instagram, that if you follow me on Instagram, even, not if you watch me on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I have recently become obsessed with the Netflix show Tiny House Nation, and now I'm obsessed with having a caravan. James has wanted a caravan for many years, and I've always been like, no, we are not caravan people, and now all I want to do is buy a caravan and do it up and make my own like tiny house. Especially with having the dogs, it kind of makes more sense now because we're not going to be able to go away so much abroad. But obviously we're still doing the house up. I mean, literally sitting in a half finished room, like we don't need to add to our workload with doing a caravan up as well. But I'm just a little bit obsessed. I'm convinced that at some point I'm going to find this excellent caravan bargain, but you know, what are the actual chances of that happening? And now I'm rambling, which I think is because I've just woken up. It's been so long since I've had a nap, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of tea and then do some more reading, and I'll update you when I have something to update you on. So I've just, I don't want to be spoilery, but I've just reached a part in the book where we find out something awful has happened to Afra. It's really hard to talk about this without being spoilery, but I'll do my best. All the way through, up to this point, there has been a very definite distance between Nuri and Afra, and I'd kind of just thought that it was because Nuri was carrying so much on himself, and it is very obvious that Nuri is suffering from some form of PTSD, and that was kind of causing the distance. But this thing has happened, and oh, that's a very loud lorry outside. I think that that has definitely caused a fracturing of their relationship, and it is just so sad. I can't, as I say, I'll perhaps try and be a bit less spoiler free in my wrap up, to adequately explain how awful and how heartbreaking the book is. And it's just thing after thing after thing, and you can see how it would, each thing that happens to them sort of chips away at their dignity and their sense of self and their sense of self-worth, and you can kind of see how or why they would be struggling so much. But it is just utterly heartbreaking to read about, and to think, you know, these are just people who lived in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they were just going about their lives, and then war broke out, and as a result so much other stuff happened to them. And yeah, it's just really difficult and really heartbreaking. And I would say that the writing is quite simplistic, and it's not this lyrical, whimsical, wonderful masterpiece, but just the content and what you're actually reading about, and kind of this concept that we know about of refugees and asylum seekers being presented to you right in front of your eyes, and you're following these stories of these characters, just really brings it home. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more reading now. I've got a few more things to do this afternoon. I'm going to try and get this finished today. Hopefully I will. I don't have too much left to read. It's very, very readable. Absolutely flying through it, really. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little update and just say my heart is just hurting so very much for Afra and for Nuri. But my bookmark is falling out of my book, so yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more reading now. Then I am going to have to press pause, but I probably now won't update you until I've finished, I think. So I will see you all soon, hopefully. Good morning. So just quickly wanted to check in. I have literally finished filming my autumn TBR video. I didn't manage to finish Beekeeper of Aleppo yesterday. I've got about 60 pages left. James has taken the kids out for a walk so that I could film, so I'm going to try and edit really quickly so that I can then sit and read, because I am so close to the end. It isn't without its flaws. I'm really, really enjoying it. The book is not without its flaws, but it reads really easily. And yeah, as I said, I think I said it in my last clip, I think that it is a really timely read. So hopefully I'll be able to get it finished today. And even just for me, being able to read a book that's quite basically written but add in my own elaborations and expand the story is, you know, that I tend to do that anyway. So it's not without its flaws, it's not perfect, but I'm enjoying it, or appreciating the story that it's trying to tell nonetheless. So I am actually under some time pressure, so I'm going to go now and try and edit and upload this video. Good morning. So it's Monday morning. I'm just about to get ready for work, hence why I look a little bit of a hot mess. I just wanted to do a really quick finishing clip, because if I don't do it now, then it will just go out of my head and that'll be it. So last night I finished The Beekeeper of Aleppo. I don't know that I have too much more to add beyond what I've already said about it. I gave it 3.5 stars. It's not a literary masterpiece. The writing is extremely readable, but it's not complex. The storyline is not complex. I think what this book does do is capture this terrible, horrendous, heartbreaking situation that our protagonists Nuri and Afra are going through, and it's incredibly difficult when you think about the fact that this could be applied to hundreds of thousands of people. There are hundreds and thousands of displaced people living in makeshift camps, some who have made it to the countries that they want to get to, so Germany or the UK, but many, many more who are just living in these awful makeshift camps. They are just in limbo. You know, they can't go back, they can't go forwards, they're just stuck, and the conditions and the situations and the experiences that they are having because of this is just too heartbreaking to think about. The author does actually put some charities at the back, and I'm definitely going to do some research into that, because just the sheer thought of being in such a situation is just utterly heartbreaking. So I think that what this book does really well is shine a light on that. And actually Nuri and Afra are quite lucky because they have money. And so they are able to access a lot that other people just can't, because they are, you know, they have the monetary means to do that, but so many people are not in a similar situation. So I'm grateful that I read it for the reason of being more informed, and for it piquing my, not piquing my interest, that's the wrong thing, but kind of making me more aware and wanting to do some research and wanting to perhaps support a charity that are helping these displaced refugees and asylum seekers, because it is just heartbreaking, and that is definitely what comes across. As I said, I wouldn't say that it blew my socks off, it didn't blow my mind, it wasn't like, wow, this book is the most incredible book I've ever read, it's written so well, but I don't think that that's what the author is trying to achieve either. So yeah, I'm very glad that I read it. It says on the front actually, courageous, provocative and haunting, and I would agree with that. Yes, so very glad I read it, and I would definitely recommend it, even just as a way of educating yourself about people who are fleeing from war-torn countries such as Syria. Now I'm going to go and get ready for work, so I'm going to leave this vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Leave me a comment, let me know if you've read Beekeeper of Aleppo. I'm now going to pick up Malice, so let me know if you've read either Beekeeper of Aleppo or Malice and what you thought. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that you are all staying safe. Take care, and I'll see you soon.